Now, as you can see, both sets of people look very similar. Now, the theory going around is that Bebop and BB are this missing mother and daughter duo.
My children were the targets of attempted kidnap.
The momfluencer Katie Sorensen learning her sentence for falsely claiming a couple tried to kidnap her kids.
And what did you lie about?
That I was forced.
Were you ever forced?
No.
Were you ever threatened?
No.
Some people will do anything when it comes to achieving social media fame, even if it means hurting others along the way. And sometimes the people they hurt are none other than their own children. We'll dive into the insane world of influencer parents and how each parent went too far for fame. My name is Visual Venture, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week ahead. Bebop and BB. With over 8.3 million followers on TikTok and over 500,000 subscribers on YouTube, Bebop and BB are arguably the most famous mother and daughter duo on social media right now. Over the past few years, the two have been able to gain a ton of internet stardom through their unique content, which has been controversial to say the least. At first glance, the Bebop and BB TikTok account seems like it's full of your usual family content, but after you take a closer look, you might start to notice some strange things about their videos. For starters, both the daughter Bebop and the mother BB are always seen with dramatic makeup in their posts. And by the way they talk and act, it seems like a lot of their content is scripted beforehand. Both Bebop and BB behave in very strange ways, with some even describing it as AI-like. This caused a lot of fans to speculate that maybe Bebop and BB are being forced to make content. And once this theory started, it quickly got out of control. Fans started doing deep dives into Bebop and BB's page and found a bunch of signs pointing to the possibility of them being held against their will. People started noticing that in the background of their videos, you could see a lock at the bottom of the door. Then they started zooming in to other parts of the room, claiming that there were cameras inside watching their every move, or that they could see other people behind the camera from the reflection in their eyes.
Because in almost every video they've made, the background is always the same. Even the furniture and the toys are always in the same place. And if this is not weird enough, there are speakers on the walls and locks on the bedroom doors.
People even went as far as to theorize that Bebop and BB were actually Kate and Ava Baldwin, a mother and daughter duo that had been missing since 2015. Kate Baldwin had taken her daughter Ava and ran away with her, hiding from Ava's father, her family, and the rest of the world for years. And some started to point out the physical similarities between the two pairs, hinting at the possibility that they were the same people.
Now, as you can see, both sets of people look very similar. Here's another example of how similar they look. Now, the theory going around is that Bebop and BB are this missing mother and daughter duo.
Once these theories started to circulate on the internet, fans who believed in them started to take action. They wanted to help, so they would comment things like "wear red if you're in trouble" or "put a green heart in your caption if you need help." Scarily enough, Bebop and BB actually did these things. In their videos, they would regularly do the action that the top comment asked them to do. And during their lip sync videos, fans swore that they were mouthing words like "help" instead of the actual words. After multiple videos of Bebop and BB doing these requests, fans were almost certain that there was something much darker going on behind the scenes. Some believed that the two were kidnapped. Others thought that there was someone else controlling them. In some of Bebop and BB's videos, they feature men like Bebop's brother or her father, both of which fans have speculated could be forcing them to make videos. Needless to say, Bebop and BB became the focus of social media's most trending conspiracy theory. And with such a popular theory being tied back to their page, it's expected that they would gain some new fans. But not just a few, hundreds of thousands of new fans. The Bebop and BB page was getting millions of views a day, with curious TikTok users flocking to their accounts to try and be part of this investigation. But while none of the theories were ever confirmed, a new theory emerged from all of the conspiracies. One that seemed to make a lot more sense. Bebop wasn't kidnapped, she was being exploited.
There's been some inappropriate videos of Bebop that make many people uncomfortable considering her age. There's been live streams where BB purposely plants things in the background to fuel this conspiracy theories such as handcuffs. People on live streams have told her to touch her nose, tilt her head, or say specific things to show that she is in danger or kidnapped.
As fans started to look even deeper into Bebop and BB's content, they began noticing that it was primarily BB that fed into the kidnapping conspiracy. Rather than someone else controlling both of them, it could be very much possible that BB was making Bebop pretend the theory was real so that there would be more traction to their social media accounts. And once people started researching Bebop and BB's past, this didn't come as a shock anymore. Because before the two of them started a TikTok page, they were actually heavily involved in the child beauty pageant scene. BB had enrolled Bebop with a ton of kids' beauty pageants from a very early age, getting her to perform and act in front of judges and live audiences. So already Bebop was experienced when it came to putting on a show. Not to mention, the child beauty pageant industry is known for creating toxic parents who use their children not just for fame, but also money. So many began to think that BB was just exploiting her young daughter for social media stardom. And what further fueled the fire was when Bebop and BB finally decided to speak up and address the theories. They locked their statements behind hefty paywalls.
But apparently now, after all this time, they are breaking their silence in a news interview, but it's crazy because they're making you pay. I'm sorry, but what? You have taunted people on the internet for years, but now you want people to pay to hear your story.
The interview was eventually canceled, likely due to the backlash of the paywall, and the truth was never brought up by BB or Bebop again. But if that wasn't convincing enough, people also dug up past messages from Peyton, Bebop's brother, who was featured in some of the account's earlier videos. In these screenshots, Peyton allegedly claimed that his mother had tried to force him to make content, which is why he no longer wants to appear in the videos anymore.
Screenshots of DMs allegedly from Peyton claim that Peyton tried to expose his mom for forcing him to make content, and that's why he disappeared from their videos.
But after these screenshots surfaced, Peyton made another video addressing the situation, and it wasn't what people expected.
I lied and I hurt them. I hurt their business, what they were trying to do, something that they enjoyed, and it was something that I shouldn't have done. It was very stupid of me, and I'm very sorry to both of them and to everything that they were trying to accomplish.
And what did you lie about?
That I was forced.
Say it.
That I was forced.
Were you ever forced?
No.
Were you ever threatened?
No.
This video raised a few red flags as people still believed that BB could very much just be forcing Peyton to say these things to save her reputation and maintain her social media fame. At the end of the day, none of these theories about Bebop and BB have ever been confirmed, but it seems pretty clear that BB is using her young daughter, Bebop, to make content for her own personal gain, and that she's willing to fake a kidnapping conspiracy to keep growing her page. And Bebop isn't the only young girl being forced to make content. In fact, there are some influencer parents who do things that are much worse to keep their male audience happy. Ren Eleanor. Before we talk about the disturbing case of Ren Eleanor, I want to thank this video's sponsor, War Thunder. War Thunder is a vehicle combat MMO game featuring over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships from early 20th century biplanes and armored vehicles to fighter jets and tanks of the modern age. The game's environment is beautiful with lifelike graphics and sound effects. Something that makes War Thunder unique is its intricate damage model, where every vehicle is broken down to its individual components like the engine and fuel tank. If a vehicle is destroyed, the X-ray view shows the exact impact point of where the vehicle was damaged and what components were affected. Not to mention, this game has in-depth customization options. They have an array of camouflage, historical markings, and decorations for every vehicle, including ones created by you guys, the community. So I have a gaming computer to create these videos, but even then, games like Apex still lag for me. But War Thunder is optimized to give you a lag-free experience even on regular machines. This game has a player base of over 70 million people that you can PvP, and if you're into military history, this game is for you. Play War Thunder for free on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox now by using my link in the pinned comment or description. New and returning players that haven't played in 6 months across all platforms get a massive bonus pack. That includes the Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium account only for a limited time. Ren Eleanor has become one of the most recognizable faces when it comes to child influencers. At just 4 years old, Ren is famous with over 17 million followers on TikTok and over 600 million likes. The account is run by Ren's mom, Jacqueline, who films her daughter participating in all sorts of social media challenges and in her day-to-day life vlogs. Her daughter, who's bubbly and personable, soon became one of the most beloved child influencers on the platform, and one of the richest too, securing major brand deals with companies like Shein. But all that success comes at a cost, especially for such a young girl like Ren. Because while many of her followers are just people who find her content fun to watch, others keep up with her content for more unsettling reasons.
You start finding comments like this, and also comments like this, and even random grown men duetting the TikToks of the little 3-year-old girl, calling them pretty. Then you also find out that there are loads of fan accounts of this 3-year-old girl. And yeah, this comment comes from one of those accounts of where somebody was saying that they were putting the photos of this girl on his bedroom wall.
And with such a growing male adult fan base, you would think that Jacqueline would want to do all she can to protect her daughter, but instead she creates content specifically for that demographic. More than once, Jacqueline has been the source of controversy for the nature of the content that she posted onto the Ren Eleanor account.
In one video, Ren is just doing her daily activities. The video has been saved by over 14,000 people, which is already kind of suspicious that so many strangers would want a video of a random child on their phone in the first place. But in this other video, Ren is doing her bath routine. This video got over 3 times as many saves.
Jacqueline had Ren pose this way for videos on multiple occasions. The most infamous incident was when Jacqueline had Ren play with a feminine hygiene product on camera as if it were a toy. That video was saved by over 300,000 people. All these videos have caught intense backlash and have since been deleted, but that doesn't mean the damage wasn't already done.
The comments on some of Ren's videos were absolutely disgusting and disturbing. And to be honest, Jacqueline should be embarrassed and ashamed for not monitoring what these monsters on the internet were saying about her now 4-year-old daughter.
And comments like that were normal on all of Ren's videos. It was becoming increasingly obvious that a big part of Ren's fan base were people who should not be consuming her content. But rather than taking preventative measures, Jacqueline tried to defend herself and her parenting with this video back in 2022.
Please do not mom shame me because we have different parenting styles. I look forward to making more videos with my daughter, and I am committed to making changes when I turn my account comments back on. I will filter them to remove offensive comments and report and block accounts as necessary.
Although Jacqueline promised to monitor the comments to protect her daughter, she didn't take action for months, which allowed the comment section to grow into a place filled with disgusting messages. And soon things got even worse. On TikTok videos, there are suggested searches that pop up which showcase the most commonly searched terms about the specific account and video. And for most of Ren's videos, the search suggestions became topics like Ren Eleanor hot dog or Ren Eleanor pickle. Upon seeing these videos and these comments, a TikTok movement led primarily by concerned mothers started taking over the platform. This movement was meant to encourage TikTok to remove kid-focused content for the sake of protecting children and their privacy, especially from those who shouldn't be consuming this type of content. As of this video, she's since turned off all of her comments, but that's all the action she's taken, because since the controversy started, Ren's content has only gotten more questionable. But while Jacqueline may use her child to make content, there are other mothers out there who use their kids to make money in other ways. Jasmine Moss. Jasmine Moss is your standard mom influencer. She works a regular 9 to 5 while also creating content on the side as a hobby to earn a little extra income. Jasmine is a beautician who posts content for her daughter as well as her day-to-day work on Instagram, particularly in waxing. Waxing videos have become a popular niche on social media as people like watching the wax remove hair quickly and seamlessly. It's part of the growing trend of satisfying beauty treatment videos like pimple popping or blackhead removal. But while her fans have gotten used to her posting these videos, they never expected that she would bring on someone new to wax her clients. Someone who is definitely not qualified.
A mother is in jail after police say her daughter helped to wax clients at a waxing studio. Memphis police say that child was only 5 years old.
On her since-deleted Instagram account, Jasmine shared content of her daughter doing wax services on her clients. In the post, she boasted to her followers about how her daughter had allegedly waxed 24 people in just 8 hours. Several concerns came from these posts, the first being that the wax was extremely hot and not safe for a child to be handling. But most importantly, Jasmine's daughter wasn't just doing any regular sort of waxing. She was specifically doing bikini waxes for women. Not only was the young girl being subject to hot wax, but she was also being forced to get extra close with them to do the waxing. Once these photos were posted, concerned followers started to share these images with the police. The Memphis Police Department received several complaints following this post going live, and they decided to investigate the situation. Jasmine was eventually arrested and charged with child neglect and other related charges, with her Instagram content being used as primary evidence. But if you thought getting your child to work for you like this was bad, then you might want to brace yourself, because this next mom takes it one step further. Jessica Gasser. When children have rare illnesses, it's a heartbreaking story, which is why it's no surprise that when TikTok user Medical Mama Jez shared her 3-year-old daughter's journey with a rare medical illness, she gained a ton of supporters. Jessica Gasser, a 27-year-old mom, would share content about her young daughter and her road to recovery to her 25,000 followers on TikTok. But it was recently revealed that while Jessica had been making a ton of content about her daughter's rare medical condition, none of the videos had any truth to them. Actually, her daughter wasn't sick at all. The real problem was Jessica pretending her daughter was ill to get attention.
She's been hospitalized repeatedly.
On social media and in doctors' offices, 27-year-old Jessica Gasser allegedly claimed her 3-year-old daughter was medically complex. But the Tarrant County Sheriff's Office says she was lying.
Although Jessica's daughter was perfectly healthy, Jessica still did everything she could to keep the act going, including taking desperate measures to try and make her child seem sick or convince herself that she was. For the past few years, Jessica had been taking her daughter to several hospitals throughout the Dallas and Austin areas trying to get her a medical diagnosis. The affidavit showed that Jessica was being accused of doctor shopping, which meant going into countless doctors' offices and lying about medical history to try and get the results that she wanted.
They're presenting a false medical history to a medical provider who rely on that history in order to form a diagnosis.
Jessica would ask the doctors to run blood tests and a wide variety of other tests to attempt to fake a medical condition for her daughter that wasn't there. That way she could get prescriptions for the medication that she would show in her content, and also be able to film her daughter during medical treatments to keep the lie going. It got so bad that her daughter even had to be hospitalized a few times for these abrasive tests. All of these procedures caused her daughter to end up with several injuries. Doctors in Texas quickly caught on after Jessica and her daughter visited several hospitals and medical centers within a short time frame. Jessica had initially taken her daughter to the Texas Medical Center, where her daughter was given a feeding tube since she wasn't eating enough. Months later, when Jessica moved onto a different doctor, they ruled out stomach issues and offered to remove the feeding tube because her daughter seemed healthy, but Jessica refused. That's when medical professionals in Texas began their suspicions about Jessica and how she was treating her daughter. So in June of 2022, the first report to the Department of Family Protective Services would be filed, along with a second report just 4 months later in October of 2022. Around that time, many Texas doctors started refusing to run any more tests, but instead of stopping, Jessica just went to hospitals in other states. She visited medical facilities in 3 different states for checkups and diagnoses that ended up totaling over $200,000, all to look for medical illnesses that her daughter simply did not have. But all that money didn't come out of nowhere. Using her social media page as promotion, Jessica ran a successful Etsy shop called Enchanted Tubey Tapes, where she sold custom designed tape for feeding tubes and other medical tools. The shop has over 749 5-star reviews and over 3,000 sales. And like most influencers that fake illnesses, Jessica also ran a GoFundMe page. According to the page, all donations were going towards travel expenses to the Cleveland Clinic in Ohio, which she and her daughter needed to go to for medical treatment. This treatment has since been confirmed confirmed by doctors as unneeded, but Jessica had gone through with the GoFundMe anyway, earning $683, along with receiving a $1,638 donation from a philanthropic organization to cover both their flights there. And Jessica knew that what she was doing was wrong. During the police investigation, it was revealed that her search history was filled with things like, is lying to a doctor about a child illegal, and countries that take families on asylum from CPS. The daughter has since been removed from Jessica's care and is perfectly healthy without medical treatment. And Jessica is being investigated by the Tarrant County Sheriff's Office for alleged medical abuse. Jessica has since deleted all her social media content, but the lasting effects on her daughter cannot be undone. This next case is very different because instead of having their kid fake an illness, he used his to help with his TikTok thirst traps. Pepito Fonzie 1. We already know that some influencer parents like to use their children for views on social media, but few manage to cross as many lines as Pepito Fonzie does. This TikToker, known for his thirst traps and his gym content, is no stranger to showing off his physique online. But things got much weirder when he started to show his foster children in his videos.
He also posted another video of him showing his body like this with the caption, "When she wants cuddles." But guess what? His adopted daughter appears.
In his former videos, many of which are deleted, he would use his foster children, a young daughter and a baby boy, as props for his videos. The videos would have suggestive captions or even actions which are highly uncomfortable to watch considering that Pepito is their adopted father. Pepito purposely phrases his words and frames his videos to form a narrative in the viewer's head, making it feel very unsettling. And the narrative he builds in his videos are highly inappropriate for a father to have with his kids. Some of these videos weren't just suggestive, they were straight up creepy.
Now, for whatever reason, this man decides to stick his hand in the diaper of the baby and get out. Well, you seen what was on his hand, and then he wiped it on his face.
Not to mention that in the corner of many of his videos, Pepito would plug his Snapchat account where he had spicier, more adult content. And when more and more people started seeing these videos, they knew that they had to take action. So they started reporting his videos to Child Protective Services, and the children were eventually taken away. This next parent also posted similar content, but arguably much worse, because while Pepito seemed to only post questionable scenarios, Katie actually acted them out. Katie Boogie. One of the most common types of content for mom influencers includes doing dance challenges with her kids. But Katie didn't want to take that approach. Instead of dancing with him, she decided to dance on him instead. This type of dancing combined with the suggestive captions are enough to make a person sick to their stomach. But this wasn't the only video posted of this nature. Most people were quick to call out Katie for this disturbing behavior, but others, they thought differently.
She made several dancing videos with her child. Now let's read some of these creepy comments that were left on her videos. "You did nothing wrong. He clearly wants it."
Unfortunately, there is no further news as to what happened to both Katie and her child after these videos started gaining traction. Jenny Popuk. Rosalie Aritola was only 15 years old when she became one of the most famous stars on social media. Taking on the persona Jenny Popuk, Rosalie would gain over 7 million followers on TikTok before she suddenly disappeared from the platform. Like other girls her age, Jenny posted videos of her lip syncing and dancing, but many people who watched her videos found themselves disturbed by the end of it. Unlike most 15-year-old girls who did this for fun, Jenny clearly had another motive. She wanted to attract a certain audience.
People found it quite shocking how Jenny was wearing bikinis and very revealing outfits just to film TikTok videos when she was only 15 years old.
Despite her young age, Jenny was posing suggestively in almost every video and wearing clothes that seemed like they were for a much older age group. She was regularly seen wearing swimsuits, crop tops, and short bottoms in her videos and lip syncing to suggestive songs with vulgar lyrics. And many people who watched these videos grew concerned, and for a good reason. Jenny spent a lot of her life on social media, and with all of her content being this suggestive, they feared that she was putting herself at risk of being taken advantage of. In most cases like these, the parents would usually want to take action to prevent their child from being possibly harmed, but not Jenny's. They didn't seem to care. In fact, they seemed to support it. Jenny's parents are advocates for the type of content that she makes, often encouraging her to keep posting the way that she does. Jenny's mom, Maria Ulacia, is especially fond of Jenny's social media fame. In an interview with Bloomberg, Maria was asked about the allegations that were going around about her exploiting her daughter. Instead of addressing them, she brushed them aside, calling it funny and proudly saying that she and her daughter loved the attention that was coming from her growing following. But these answers shouldn't come as a shock to anyone who knows who Jenny's mom is. Back in 2020, Maria caught massive heat after she took then 13-year-old Jenny and a few of her friends on a trip to the Hype House. The Hype House was a content house known for personalities like Charli D'Amelio, Addison Rae, and Lil Huddy. Their house was a large-scale mansion in Los Angeles, and Maria decided one day that she wanted to take a visit. But instead of asking for a tour, she decided that she was just going to break in. On June 12th, 2020, Chase Hudson, aka Lil Huddy, took to Twitter to post this tweet where he talked about how a group of girls and their mother had broken into the Hype House and stole his clothes. The girls and the mother in question were none other than Jenny, her friends, and her mom, Maria. And to make matters worse, they didn't just trespass onto the property, they also filmed content inside. Maria shot several videos in different rooms of the Hype House, posting them onto her own personal Instagram and TikTok accounts. What she considered to be content would turn out to be incriminating evidence. After all this broke out to the public, Jenny posted a statement on her Instagram saying that she had obtained special permission from a caretaker at the Hype House to enter. This incident was what created many people's first impression of Jenny and her mother, and it wasn't a good one. To many, it seemed like Maria was encouraging questionable behavior with her daughter. Jenny was only 13 at the time when this all went down, clearly incapable of making proper decisions. Another major red flag was a viral video from Christmas 2021 that Jenny posted that featured her younger brother. There was a trend going around TikTok where couples would be dancing together with one person being covered in wrapping paper. The other partner would then spin them around and unwrap them, revealing a different outfit underneath. Often it was something revealing, and Jenny hopped on the trend. The suggestive outfits had already been a common part of Jenny's content, so that wasn't the biggest issue anymore. The real concern was that the person who was unwrapping her in the video was her very own brother, and he was unwrapping her to reveal Jenny in a swimsuit underneath.
Jenny decided to follow a trend where her brother unwraps her to reveal her swimsuit. It did not take a minute for TikTok to flag Jenny's video.
At this point, there was no denying that Jenny needed guidance because clearly her parents weren't capable of doing the job. Since then, fans have started pointing out Maria's terrible parenting and attempted to understand why she was so determined to use her daughter in this way. One of the reasons was just how obsessed Maria seemed to be with not only her daughter's fame, but also Jenny herself.
She is a 16-year-old who is being basically exploited by her mum. Her mum is basically trying to live through her. And why do I say this? Take a look.
Are you wearing my clothes? Wait, move.
What happened?
Are you wearing my clothes?
I've just been trying them on. Like, what's like the problem?
I didn't make a problem.
I'm just saying, like.
I just said, are you wearing my clothes?
Yeah, I've been
Why
trying.
do you have to be rude all the time?
To many, this seems like a classic case of a parent trying to live through their kids' experiences. Maria herself has openly admitted that she knew she would be famous one day and that her daughter is her destiny to obtain that fame. This could explain why she would go to such extreme lengths, such as forcing her to wear revealing clothing or dance provocatively just to get that fame she so badly desires. Jenny has since left TikTok, but she still makes content on YouTube and Instagram. This time, she's ditched the persona, now using her real name, Rosalie Aritola, to post videos. And the content seems to be a bit better than before. However, her mother is still very much involved. Katie Sorensen.
My children were the targets of attempted kidnap.
Katie Sorensen went viral in 2020 after she posted a storytime video on her Instagram account, Motherhood Essentials, about a terrifying experience that she had in a Michael's craft store in California. One that left her on edge and her viewers on the edge of their seats. She was shopping for necessities with her 4-year-old son and 1-year-old daughter, and after getting everything she needed, she and the kids headed towards the car in the parking lot. But But it wouldn't be a quick trip to the car, as there would be one horrifying obstacle in the way. A couple that wanted to steal Katie's children. After escaping their grasp, Katie immediately called the Petaluma Police Department to report the incident as an attempted kidnapping. A week after the report, she went and retold this story on Instagram. Katie claimed that she made this video to raise awareness of kidnappings and to remind parents to keep a close eye on their children at all times.
They walked kind of close behind me. I definitely felt the heebie-jeebies. I didn't feel good, but I thought I was judging a book by its cover.
Also saying they, quote, weren't clean-cut individuals and made comments about her kid's appearance.
They're saying blonde hair, blue eyes.
The video instantly blew up with countless concerned viewers in the comments wanting to know more. The video ended up getting 4 million views, which for a smaller creator like Katie was a stepping stone to a prosperous social media career. But while many people believed the story online, there was one unexpected twist. It was all a lie. And that while there was a couple near Katie and her children at Michael's, the couple did not commit the crime that Katie was describing. The police were quick to expose the truth behind the video after reviewing CCTV footage of the parking lot, which did not support Katie's story at all. In fact, the couple she accused were fully cooperative with the investigation and were quick to clear their name against the false allegations.
Say the investigation has produced no evidence or witnesses corroborating the account provided by Sorensen. Evidence gathered has served to support the account provided by the couple from the store.
From this incident, Katie not only lost social media followers, but also her freedom.
The momfluencer Katie Sorensen learning her sentence for falsely claiming a couple tried to kidnap her kids.
Katie was sentenced to 30 days in jail and 60 days of work release for making a false report of a crime, along with 12 months of probation where she was not allowed to use social media. Zakiya Duncan. Zakiya Duncan seemed like your average mom on social media. She didn't have a huge following, but she did regularly post content, mostly with her kids. In videos, you could see her dancing and laughing with them inside their beautiful home in Texas. But appearances can be deceiving, especially in Zakiya's case. Underneath that big, happy family facade, those kids were living in a house of horrors, and it was so bad that 2 of her kids actually had to run away from home.
New surveillance video shows the twins going to a neighbor's home early yesterday morning begging for help. Police soon got involved, and that's when the twins' mother and her boyfriend fled with their 5 other children, sparking that Amber Alert.
Turns out Zakiya's life wasn't as perfect as social media made it seem. The twins, who were the eldest of the kids, weren't being taken care of at home. They were always locked inside a room, underfed and dehydrated. They would only get sandwiches made of mustard and relish once or twice a week, and when they did have something to drink, it wasn't nutritious. The twins weren't allowed to leave that room or allowed to participate in the TikTok videos that their mom made. Online, Zakiya took on the persona of a family-oriented, loving mother and constantly posted videos like this with her 5 kids.
Family time is always the best time, so get your family time in, you guys, always. Come here! Family time is the best time? You love your family? Love your family.
She would post all of this while the twins were fending for themselves in the other room. While it's unclear why Zakiya had such a preference for the other 5 kids, this sort of behavior wasn't new. 10 years ago, she'd also gotten similar charges. After the twins were able to free themselves and get help, police began looking for the couple. They attempted to run away with the rest of the kids, which sent a statewide Amber Alert for Zakiya's 5 kids who were aged 7 to 14. They were all eventually found in Baton Rouge. Zakiya was charged for what she had done to the twins. However, the children were ultimately returned to her. Tiffany Raquel Smith. Piper Smith is arguably one of the most famous teen YouTubers today. Ever since she joined the platform in 2016, she's earned over 11.9 million subscribers and 3 billion channel views. She posted what any regular teen influencer would: challenges, skits, and other lifestyle content. But all of Piper's popularity can't be credited to her. Piper's channel is managed by her mother, Tiffany Raquel Smith. Many of her videos also feature her content group, The Squad, which consists consists of other teen creators who were all Piper's friends, some of which were already well known. Tiffany oversaw a lot of the content being created for Piper's channel and acted as not only a guardian but also a mother figure for a lot of the squad. At least that's what it looked like on camera, but the truth was far from that.
This young lady's amassed more than 10 million followers on YouTube, shooting silly videos with her friends. Now Lisa Guerrero reports some of those now former friends and their parents are suing, alleging they were exploited.
A 147-page complaint was filed in January of 2022 and had 11 of Piper's friends involved, each suing for emotional distress and other mistreatment from Tiffany between the years of 2017 and 2022 when they worked for her. Each kid and their parent is suing for an estimated $2 million each, bringing the total to $22 million.
For young kids as young as 9. So yeah, a lot of these allegations, frankly, they are very grotesque.
Behind the scenes, Tiffany wasn't just giving guidance, she was pulling the strings. And when it comes to Piper's channel growth, she'd found one strategy that she believed always worked, even if it wasn't the best for the kids involved. Tiffany would treat the squad members as if they were actors, giving them roles and fake crushes so that she could pair them up to create ships and drama that would pull in the views. This not only strained relationships between the teens themselves, but also opened the window for hate online, since certain fans only supported certain pairings. But even after generating billions of views for Piper's channel, none of the members of the squad ever got credit for all the energy and time they put into the videos. While Piper had almost 12 million subscribers, none of them ever got close to her level of popularity, even though they were putting in just as much work. And they never got paid either. Although it's unconfirmed whether or not they were promised money in the first place or just publicity. But even then, their personal careers also suffered at the hands of none other than Tiffany herself. The complaint that was filed claimed that Tiffany had conspired to ruin the channels of the members of the squad by using bots and falsely reporting their videos to drive down their views and growth so that they would not outshine Piper. The complaint also touched on other issues like the comments and actions that Tiffany had done over the years. Despite the ages of the squad members, Tiffany regularly said things that she shouldn't have to them, particularly to the male members. But if you thought this sort of treatment was only restricted to the squad members, that would be false, because Tiffany also exploited her own daughter Piper. One of the worst instances, which was outlined in the complaint, was when Tiffany took some of Piper's undergarments and mailed them to an unknown individual. And when her daughter confronted her about this, Tiffany just said that the person likes to smell this stuff. Tiffany has since tried to countersue for $30 million, saying the mothers of the Piper squad members were trying to extort her, but this case was dropped almost immediately. Piper and the ex-members of the squad continue to regularly post on their YouTube channels or other social media platforms. My friends, let these stories be a reminder that on social media, it's almost never as it seems. There's always more than meets the eye, so keep your eyes peeled. Visual Venture. Thanks a ton to War Thunder. Play it for free on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox now by using my link below. New and returning players that haven't played in 6 months across all platforms will get a massive bonus pack. Wait, before you go, make sure you guys click subscribe here and then click this playlist to watch more dark internet documentaries, because our goal is 700,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. Thank you guys for everything. Peace.
It's such a nice, wholesome toy. We can't mess this one up.
People may be peering into your home without you even knowing it.
Who could have guessed giving a kid a stuffed animal with a microphone connected to the internet in it had the potential to go wrong?
I had no clue that this is dangerous.
So what happens when a children's toy becomes a target for hackers? In 2017, parents found out the hard way when this cute teddy bear allowed hackers to invade the lives of nearly 1 million families. How the hackers got into the teddy bear and the trouble they caused was a nightmare no one saw coming. This is the insane story of how a toy bear leaked 2 million kids' voice chats. I'm Visual Venture, and we reached our goal of 700,000 subscribers before the end of this year. Thank you guys a ton. And we are just getting started. The ultimate hacking machine. In 2009, something was invented that made hackers all over the world very excited. It was a software called Shodan, and it was going to make hacking a whole lot easier. Although Shodan was dangerous, it wasn't locked inside a secret facility or hidden on the dark web. Anyone could use it, all they needed was a credit card. So what exactly was Shodan, and how did it make cyber criminals hack a teddy bear? Shodan is a search engine for finding unprotected devices on the internet. It scans webcams, routers, and servers online and checks if the device has a password.
Once you click search, it'll bring up all the internet-connected devices in Apex, North Carolina by IP address. Let's look at this one here.
Many devices connected to the internet have weak passwords or sometimes no passwords at all. Shodan finds these vulnerable devices and lists them, making it easy to know which devices can easily be hacked. Because Shodan is so dangerous, many states made it a felony to use Shodan to collect information about a device that isn't yours, even if you don't hack the device. Shodan was designed to be a research tool meant for cybersecurity professionals, researchers, and law enforcement agencies. But over time, cyber criminals started using it to find targets on the internet. When hackers find a vulnerable database on Shodan, they break in, delete the data, and demand a ransom to restore it. If the stolen data is important, hackers will pay the ransom to get it back. Hackers always ask for payment in Bitcoin because it can't be traced. It leaves no money trail. Shodan became so popular among cyber criminals that it was nicknamed the hackers' search engine and the scariest search engine on the internet. Shodan made the internet feel like the high seas, with pirates looking for ships to capture for ransom. Then in 2015, a simple mistake by the makers of this teddy bear gave cyber criminals their biggest opportunity: a toy for the whole family. This is a Cloud Pets doll, and it was described as the best toy in the history of toys.
You are so happy.
This is the best toy in the history of all toys.
At first glance, Cloud Pets seemed like regular stuffed animals, but they had something inside that made them dangerous. Released in 2015, Cloud Pets came in 4 variations: dog, cat, teddy bear, and rabbit. Each doll was 12 inches tall with soft, cuddly fur.
You know, actually, he feels really nice. I'll give him this for £7. Like, even if this gimmick doesn't work, I've come out with a nice feeling teddy bear.
But here's the twist. Hidden inside each Cloud Pets toy was a small speaker, microphone, and an internet device that could send and receive messages. But why would a stuffed animal need all this tech?
So the main concept of this teddy bear is so people who are far away from their families can send their families messages, and then the message is said through the bear.
Sending messages through Cloud Pets was easy. Parents or family members downloaded the Cloud Pets app on their smartphones and pressed a button to record a voice message. The message was then sent to the specific Cloud Pets teddy bear connected to that account. The child could press a button on the toy's paw to hear the message, and by holding the same button, they could record a reply. That means traveling parents or a deployed military member could send a heartfelt message to their child's teddy bear at home to be replayed when their child interacts with the bear.
Okay, here we go. The message we've all been waiting for.
Son, it's your father. I don't like you anymore.
When you create an account with Cloud Pets, you give it your child's name, an email address, photo, and more. All voice messages sent through the Cloud Pets doll were saved in an online database run by Spiral Toys Inc., the company that made Cloud Pets. Cloud Pets dolls were flying off the shelves and ending up in thousands of homes.
Receive a story from your dad who's far away, or a lullaby from mom every day.
Cloud Pets were designed to help parents and kids stay in touch, which was a great idea. But then Spiral Toys, the company behind Cloud Pets, started making some really bad decisions that made them a target for the worst hackers on the internet. Spiral Toys didn't just sell Cloud Pets, they also kept the voice messages and customer details in a database. But keeping that data safe was going to be a problem because the company was falling apart. Spiral Toys was facing 2 lawsuits for infringement of intellectual property. Their chief financial officer was convicted of insider trading, and their top distributor canceled a huge order, leaving thousands of toys rotting in a warehouse. The company also made bad decisions like spending $9.6 million on ads instead of securing their database against hackers. That money was also borrowed from investors. So every time Spiral Toys sold a Cloud Pet, a big chunk of their profit went to paying off the multi-million-dollar debt. The company was so desperate for cash that when Cloud Pets sales slowed, they lowered the price to only $1 or in some cases free with the purchase of another item. Within a year, Spiral Toys lost more than 99% of their peak value until their stock price was around zero. By the end of 2016, Spiral Toys was a dying business, cutting corners to survive. And then in an attempt to save money, they did something so dumb it opened the door for hackers to come in and ruin everything. The leak. As Spiral Toys struggled, they tried to find ways to save money. One of their largest expenses was the cost of storing and protecting their customers' data. Here's where they made their biggest mistake. To cut costs, they stored customer data in an insecure database that didn't require authentication to access it. In other words, anyone on the internet could find and open this database without even needing a password. This was a ridiculous thing for any company to do. Normally, databases with sensitive data are protected by firewalls and passwords. Some companies regularly test their own databases to make sure they're secure. But Cloud Pets did the opposite. They left all their data exposed, like leaving the front door to a vault wide open. It gets worse when you realize how sensitive Cloud Pets' data was. The database provided access to the email addresses, family members' names, passwords, voice recordings, and profile pictures of families using Cloud Pets toys. This included 2.2 million voice messages and details on more than 820,000 users. With this Cloud Pets data, hackers could steal identities, empty bank accounts, and even blackmail people. Maybe Spiral Toys didn't realize the danger, or maybe they just didn't care. Parents and kids continued to send messages back and forth through the Cloud Pets doll, unaware that every word they said was exposed on the internet. Luckily, cybercriminals haven't found the database just yet. But remember Shodan, the search engine scanning the web for unprotected systems? It was still scanning, which meant hackers could find the Cloud Pets database at any moment. It was a disaster waiting to happen. But there was one man that could save the situation. His name was Troy Hunt. Troy had a very unique job. He was an independent security researcher and data breach expert. A big part of his job was investigating data breaches and leaks on the internet. Companies sometimes don't notice when their data has been hacked or leaked. When Hunt finds evidence that a company has been hacked, he contacts the breached company to notify them of the problem. Troy even created a website called Have I Been Pwned, which helps regular people check if their email has been involved in a data breach. In summary, Troy Hunt was the guy you call when hackers are trying to steal your data. In February 2017, Troy received a message about one of the biggest data leaks he'd ever seen. Someone reached out to him claiming he had a copy of the entire Cloud Pets database. As proof, the informant sent Troy a snippet containing around 500,000 records of Cloud Pets customers. Troy's first move was to check if what the guy sent was really the Cloud Pets database. Luckily, Troy knew someone who bought their daughter a Cloud Pet, so he decided to check that person's login details against the leaked data. In no time, Troy was able to locate this person's email address and Cloud Pet's password. Troy also discovered more about the person, their kids' names, birthdays, and their relationship with users like your parents, grandparents, and friends were all accessible. The data was real. In this case, the data wasn't on the dark web yet. It was sitting out in the open, accessible to anyone with basic hacking skills. Cybercriminals could unleash hell if they got hold of this data. The only way to stop it was to warn Spiral Toys to secure their data, but before Troy could act, he heard something that made the situation much worse. Apparently, the guy who told Troy about the leak already sent multiple emails to Spiral Toys to warn them, and he couldn't believe what happened. In December 2016, the guy sent his first email to Spiral Toys, but the message immediately bounced back. Then he sent another email to a different Spiral Toys address and waited for a reply. Hours turned into days, but there was no response. 4 days later, he sent a third email to Spiral Toys' hosting provider. Once again, he received no reply. This was more than frustrating, it was dangerous. After hearing the guy's story, Troy realized that sending an email to Spiral Toys wouldn't help. So Troy decided to pick up the phone and call the company. That was even worse because their contact information was a mess. Spiral Toys' phone numbers went to a man who claimed he didn't work for Spiral Toys, or it randomly went to a taxi service in New Jersey. He tried to reach them through LinkedIn, Zendesk, Twitter, and even via private email, still no response. The Cloud Pets Twitter account was also dormant. It was like Spiral Toys had vanished, leaving customer data floating in the open. In cybersecurity, there is an unwritten rule to give companies time to fix problems before going public. It's called responsible disclosure, but it became clear that Spiral Toys wasn't fixing the problem. None of the Cloud Pets customers knew about the exposed database. This meant that their passwords and emails were still active. With over 800,000 users exposed, the fallout could be huge. Then came the last straw. Troy realized the Cloud Pets database was indexed by Shodan, meaning Shodan scanned and put it on its list. This increases the chances of cyber criminals finding it. Since Spiral Toys wasn't taking any action, Troy decided to go public. Going public with a data breach can force a company to act, but it can also let hackers know about the unprotected data. It was a risky move, but Hunt didn't have a choice. The moment he went public, it would be a race to see who acted first. The company trying to secure the data or criminals trying to steal it. Troy crossed his fingers and blew the whistle. He published a blog post about the exposed database and notified tech websites like Motherboard and Vice. Once Vice shared the story, more media outlets picked it up and the news spread like wildfire.
Which is surprising. Who could have guessed giving a kid a stuffed animal with a microphone connected to the internet in it had the potential to go wrong?
The FBI has a warning this morning about smart toys with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth technology, saying that they could be dangerous for your kids.
Cloud Pets, because you are never safe.
Everyone, including those who didn't own a Cloud Pets doll, now knew about its exposed database. The cops even got involved, warning parents to stop using Cloud Pets dolls.
Police recommend if you do have a toy like this, turn it off and leave it in a drawer or closet.
Troy hoped the media's pressure would make Spiral Toys secure the database before the data was stolen. Unfortunately, it was too late. Hackers already found the Cloud Pets data. The photos, voice recordings, and emails of more than 800,000 users were now in the hands of cyber criminals. The thing everyone feared finally happened: the ransom. Cybercriminals found the Cloud Pets database and stole the data. But they didn't just steal it. They went a step further and wiped the entire database clean. In the place of the data was a ransom note demanding Bitcoin as payment to return the data. The message read, "Your database is backed up on our servers. Send 1 Bitcoin to this account and send your IP address to this email." If Spiral Toys didn't pay up, the data would be gone for good. Or worse, it could be sold to other hackers on the dark web. Apparently, 3 different ransoms were left by different hackers who each stole the data. When parents heard about the ransom demands, they were furious. They called and sent emails to Spiral Toys demanding answers. Why didn't the company protect the data better? Why didn't they tell customers about it sooner? However, their questions weren't answered because the company's emails and phone lines still weren't active. Parents took to social media to express their frustration. One tweeted, "I'm really sick of these connected toys. If your little one has Cloud Pets, there's a pretty high likelihood that your data is now in the hands of nefarious individuals." Parents were worried about the ransom, but they had a meltdown when cybersecurity experts on TV explained how much damage hackers could do with the stolen data. Since it included voice recordings from kids, hackers could use the recordings to impersonate children. They could scam parents by sending fake messages pretending to be their child in need of help. The hackers also stole email addresses and passwords. Data shows that 78% of people reuse the same password across multiple accounts, so hackers could use the stolen passwords to break into other accounts like banking, social media, and shopping websites. Another problem is identity theft. The FBI explained that hackers could use Cloud Pets data to steal a child's identity, open credit accounts, and even find their home. In a worst-case scenario, hackers could use the voice recordings of parents and grandparents to contact kids, tricking them into thinking that they're talking to a trusted family member. These weren't far-fetched scenarios. They could actually happen if the stolen data wasn't recovered. The hackers were demanding a ransom to return the data. The big question was whether Spiral Toys would pay. After pressure from the media, Spiral Toys finally released a statement, but what they said just made people angrier. Parents wanted an apology and a solution, but what they got was a series of excuses. In an official statement, Spiral Toys described the issue as minimal and said they took immediate action to protect customer data once they discovered the breach. Initially, the CEO of Spiral Toys claimed that the company never received the warnings about the leak. He said the company even checked its email inboxes but didn't find any messages from security researchers warning about the breach. That was quickly debunked by Troy Hunt, who repeatedly tried to contact them before going public. After saying that the company never received warnings, the Spiral Toys CEO changed the story story saying, "We did have a reporter try to contact us multiple times last week. You don't respond to some random person about a data breach." But Spiral Toys wasn't done annoying its victims. In a statement published on the CloudPets website, the company explained why it stored its customer data on an unsecure online database. The company said the unprotected database was being used for a short time during an upgrade to the CloudPets app. Also, that exposed database was managed by an outside company, so technically CloudPets didn't screw up. This excuse only made them look irresponsible. The public backlash was so strong that Amazon, Walmart, and Target pulled CloudPets dolls from their stores. They didn't want to be associated with a company that fumbled such a serious security breach. This was a huge blow to Spiral Toys, considering the company was already struggling to stay in business. After getting kicked out of big stores, CloudPets ended up in 99-cent stores. Someone saw it and tweeted all the compromised CloudPets at the 99-cent store. I like how they covered the name with a sticker hoping nobody notices. But Spiral Toys was in more trouble. A senator sent a letter to the company demanding answers about the breach. There was even a possibility of criminal charges depending on the facts of the case. So how did this crazy story end? Paying a ransom doesn't guarantee that the data will be returned, so CloudPets never paid it. Besides, Spiral Toys was so broke they couldn't even afford to pay it even if they wanted to. This also meant that criminals still had the data and could use it in many terrible ways. CloudPets customers changed the passwords to their accounts to protect themselves. While changing passwords was necessary, it might not have been enough to undo the damage. In 2017 alone, more than 1 million children were victims of identity fraud, resulting in total losses of $2.6 billion. CloudPets data was stolen in early 2017 and it contained kids' data. Could that be why children's identity theft increased that year? According to Troy Hunt and other cybersecurity experts, the CloudPets database is making rounds in the internet underground. This means that families could still be at risk even years after their CloudPets data was stolen. Surprisingly, CloudPets dolls are still on the market. You can buy one on websites and some secondhand retailers have them on eBay. You might even find one at a local swap meet. Prices range from the original retail value of $49.99 to $24.99, or if you're really lucky, $1. Spiral Toys Inc. has completely collapsed. The company suffered data breaches, didn't tell anyone, were held ransom, ignored help offered by researchers, allowed children's voice data to be compromised, and were pretty bad at doing the right thing all along. Maybe it was for the best that they shut down. The good news is that the CloudPet scandal raised awareness about the risks of internet-connected toys.
First thing you want to do is really research the product. You don't want to just buy any product. You want to make sure that you know the company, you know where they're storing your information.
Troy Hunt gave the best advice on this issue. He said if it's connected to the internet, you can't treat it like it's a child's plaything. There are very real risks involved whenever data is uploaded to a server, even if it comes from a toy. It's up to us to be aware, informed, and careful in this increasingly connected world. Visual Venture. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys check out my other video, how one hack exposed 37 million cheating husbands, right here. Love you guys. Peace. 500 hours of new videos are uploaded to YouTube every minute. But although tons of videos go up, not all of them get to stay online. Some videos cause so much trouble, they have to be taken down. These are the most notorious videos deleted from YouTube, ranked from the least to the most shocking reasons. I'm Visual Venture, and you are awesome. The best friend video. This video was described as the worst prank ever uploaded to the internet. It was so bad that over 100,000 people signed a petition asking YouTube to take it down. Although the video was eventually deleted, the chaos it caused will never be forgotten. The man at the center of the controversy was Sam Pepper, and he did not have a great reputation.
He had this quirky, abrasive personality. He rolled this personality into a YouTube career after he got evicted from Big Brother.
Sam started posting on YouTube in September 2010. His channel focused mainly on pranks. At first, his videos were funny and helped him gain a lot of fans. But when more creators began doing prank videos on YouTube, Sam tried to stand out by making his pranks wilder.
The idea was as offensive or as weird as possible, regain him views with his boyish, teenage-ish audience.
Sam Pepper's extreme pranks did get him millions of views, but they also caused a lot of controversy. His video caused so much chaos in 2014 that the hashtag #ReportSamPepper started trending on Twitter. But no matter how much they complained, Sam kept pushing the limits. That brings us to the video we're discussing today, the killing best friend prank. The title alone gives you an idea of how far Sam went with this one. Sam Pepper wanted to see how someone would react if they saw their best friend's life end right in front of them. So he decided to find out by pranking someone. The video started with Sam revealing the best friends involved in his plan.
Hello guys, today I'm filming a crazy prank. I met these two Viners a couple of weeks ago and I arranged to meet them to talk about filming a video with them.
The target of the prank was Sam Goldbach, but let's just call him Goldbach. To make the whole thing more believable, Sam Pepper secretly convinced Goldbach's best friend Colby to help with the plan.
Kobe is in on the prank and Sam is getting pranked.
Here's how it went down. The video showed Colby and Goldbach driving down a quiet, dark road when suddenly their car sputtered and came to a stop. The two guys got out of the car and popped the hood, trying to figure out why the car stopped. It was just the two of them standing in the middle of a dark, empty road.
God, he thinks I'm an idiot. Oh wait, I found it. We're good. Where's the oil thing? I don't even know where that is.
Then, out of nowhere, masked men rushed at them. Before Goldbach could react, they threw a bag over his head and forced him into a car. The video then jumped 20 minutes forward to show Goldbach tied to a chair in the middle of an abandoned rooftop. The mask was pulled off Goldbach's head so he could see what was going on. That's when he saw his best friend Colby kneeling next to him. One of the masked men pulled out a weapon, pointed it at Colby, and blam. Goldbach thought his best friend was gone forever. But after a few minutes, Goldbach realized Colby's body was moving. He was alive. Colby got back up totally unharmed with a big smile on his face. And everyone burst into laughter, revealing it was all fake. Goldbach's reaction was a mixture of relief and confusion. The video ends with Sam Pepper joined by Goldbach and Colby as they talk to the camera.
Okay guys, it's a couple of days later and we decided to film this outro now whilst we're all back in a safe zone.
We're good though, that was crazy. Props to you guys, that was actually...
Goldbach looked like he was fine with what happened, but when people watched the video, they had a very different reaction. The video went up in November 2015 and the viewers absolutely hated it.
There was absolutely no humor in it, not at all.
One person wrote, "This is the darkest thing I've seen in a while. Cried real tears. This is not okay." As more people watched the video, the backlash just kept growing.
How do you do a prank like this? Like, it's first of all, it's not a prank.
People were so upset that over 100,000 people signed a petition asking YouTube to delete the video. But it didn't stop there. The petition asked YouTube to deactivate Sam Pepper's entire YouTube channel. Despite the backlash, YouTube stated that the video did not break any of its community guidelines and therefore will not be removed. Even the hacktivist group Anonymous got involved in the drama. The hackers demanded that Sam Pepper take down the video within 24 hours. Otherwise, they would unleash hell on him. As the backlash poured in, Sam Pepper defended his video, saying it's just shocking how everyone's taken it. Like he still didn't understand what was so wrong with what he did. Sam Pepper even started a GoFundMe campaign stating that he would delete his YouTube channel if $1.5 million was pledged to him. But eventually, Sam gave in to the pressure and deleted the video from YouTube. And everyone finally calmed down. But there's something important to consider about this best friend video. It might have been staged. In other words, the people who got pranked could have been part of the act all along. We know this because 3 months after this video, Sam admitted that all his controversial pranks were fake and filmed with the consent of everyone involved. Goldbach and Colby later confirmed this during an interview.
Most people don't believe me that was acting. They're still like, oh, he got traumatized, that was real. But I had tried to work on making myself cry for like 3 weeks before that.
Pepper, Colby, and Goldbach went on to build pretty successful social media careers despite the backlash. One huge problem with these creators is trust. They go as far as faking their content. They turn simple, genuine ideas into massive productions. It's a reminder that something as simple as a stress-free meal can make all the difference. So I have a confession to make. I don't know how to cook. I mean, if you count making a smoothie as cooking, then I am an expert. But for real though, factor makes things simple. Factor delivers fresh, chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals right to your door. You can choose from over 35 different meals per week with options like keto, calorie smart, vegan, and more. And now Factor offers smoothies and juices. Like I was saying, I'm an expert at making smoothies because, in my opinion, smoothies are one of the easiest ways to get nutrition fast. I mean, to be honest, my smoothies don't taste that good because I just stuff a bunch of fruits and vegetables. But Factor's is nutritious and tastes better. But what helps me the most is that you get a well-balanced meal to be ready in 2 minutes. And with the holiday season here, it also makes a great present, especially to your friends and family who are too busy to cook like me. Make sure you guys click my link below to get 50% off and free shipping on your first Factor box, and 20% off your next month of orders with my discount code VISUAL50. Big thanks to Factor for sponsoring this video. How to say hello in 30 languages. If you visit Filthy Frank's YouTube channel, you'll find videos with strange titles like Angry Black Man in Closet, Man Eats Raw Squid and Pukes, and Loser Reads Hater Comments. But no matter how much you scroll, one video you won't find is a video called How to Say Hello in 30 Languages. Even though the video had a pretty innocent title, it caused so much controversy that YouTube stepped in and deleted it. Big question is why?
All right, gather round, children. It's that time of the year again.
Filthy Frank was a YouTuber and internet comedian, but his comedy was different from most. He made people laugh by doing over-the-top things. He even called himself an absolute madman and the literal embodiment of everything a person should not be.
Do you want pearly white teeth the natural way? Now you can do it for cheap. Spray paint your teeth white.
In the early 2010s, Filthy Frank's weird skits and crude jokes were a big hit on YouTube. And he totally deserved the success because he was one of the most creative YouTubers of his time. Although his jokes pushed the boundaries, fans loved his edgy humor.
Because everybody's trying to promote their mixtape nowadays when they talk about how they're gonna make it, miraculously becoming a rapper. And these people believe that it's gonna happen.
Then one day, Filthy Frank finally went too far. With one video, people thought his comedy went from edgy to unacceptable. On August 25th, 2012, Filthy Frank uploaded a video titled How to Say Hello in 30 Languages. From the title, most people expected him to just say hello in different languages from around the world. But that's not what he did. Instead of just a hello, he acted out over-the-top stereotypes about people from each country. For example, when he said hello in Indian, he made a goofy face and yelled really loud. For Swedish, he made a weird noise again and again. Every country got its own bizarre act. For some countries' greetings, he just flushed a toilet. The video was supposed to be lighthearted fun, but some viewers didn't see it that way. They felt like it spread negative stereotypes and was disrespectful. For instance, when Filthy Frank did the Latino greeting, he acted like a criminal. YouTube eventually took down the video for violating its policies, especially regarding discriminatory content. The Filthy Frank wiki about the video says his video was removed due to him being racist and rude about countries. Although YouTube took down the video, you can still find it in other places online. A lot of people loved his sense of humor, but his edgy style just wasn't for everyone. Now he's a successful musician under the name Joji, and his music is pretty good. This next video is pretty iconic in YouTube history, and you guys might just remember it. Leave Britney Alone. One of the most emotional videos in YouTube history is the Leave Britney Alone video. But the reason it was deleted is very different from the others on our list. The video was posted in 2007 by a YouTuber named Chris Crocker. He was a regular 19-year-old living in Tennessee. But there was one thing that set him apart. Chris was obsessed with Britney Spears. He absolutely adored her. He was a super fan. Unfortunately, 2007 was a rough year for Britney. Throughout the year, Britney's life seemed like it was spinning out of control. She shaved her head, partied like crazy, and attacked the paparazzi with an umbrella. The media didn't cut her any slack. The tabloids posted embarrassing photos of her and made fun of her struggles.
Britney Spears. She's bald. We've got this photo now from the X17online.com, and it appears to show the pop star shaving her own head.
Britney's career also took a hit. She tried to make a comeback at the MTV Music Awards in September 2007, but her performance was a disaster.
I'm not sure it's over for Britney, but yes, this performance was particularly painful for Britney Spears.
Even her fellow celebrities didn't show her respect.
I feel bad for her. She needs to be looked after.
Well, if she wasn't a famous singer, she probably would be in care.
25 years old, and she's already accomplished
everything she's going to accomplish in her life.
Chris Crocker was tired of seeing Britney get picked on, so he decided to step in. He grabbed his camera and recorded a 2-minute video to fight off Britney's haters. He called it "Leave Britney Alone." In the video, Chris lies under a sheet sobbing uncontrollably. He goes on a rant, blasting the media and fans who were being mean to Britney.
I mean it. Anyone who has a problem with her, you deal with me. Because she's not well right now. She hasn't performed on stage in years. Her song is called "Give Me More" for a reason, because all you people want is more, 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 more.
The video gets even more emotional when Chris begs everyone to just give Britney some space, yelling "Leave Britney alone" again and again.
Leave Britney alone! Please.
Even though Chris wasn't famous, his video somehow took off and went viral. Within the first 24 hours of its posting, the video accumulated over 2 million views. It was ranked one of YouTube's fastest climbing videos and later became the second most discussed video of all time on the site. There was just one problem. Chris's passionate video did not achieve the desired effect. Instead of people leaving Britney alone, they began mocking Chris.
Leave Britney alone! Please!
Chris, who was only a teenager at the time, became the target of countless jokes. The phrase "Leave Britney alone" turned into a meme used by talk shows, comedians, and people all over the internet.
And how dare anyone out there make fun of Britney after all she's been through?
The sudden attention made Chris famous. He tried to use his new status to break into acting and kickstart a music career. Unfortunately, he didn't have much success. In 2015, about 8 years after the video first came out, Chris made a big decision. He deleted the original "Leave Britney Alone" video along with his entire YouTube channel. Chris later hinted that the constant toxic comments and the drama after the video played a big role in his decision. After deleting the channel, Chris wrote on Facebook, "My mental health and focusing on positivity is most important." Although the original video disappeared when Crocker deleted his channel, the video was copied and shared so many times that it's still easy to find online. The next deleted video didn't just hurt people's feelings, it hurt them physically too. Happy slapping. In 2005, a series of videos called Happy Slapping Videos appeared on YouTube. Despite the name, there was nothing happy about them. Happy Slapping videos followed a disturbing pattern. A random stranger might be waiting at a bus stop, walking through a park, or just going about their day. Suddenly, out of nowhere, someone would run up and slap them while a friend filmed the whole thing. The victim would be left stunned and embarrassed. Sometimes they'd try to fight back, which only made the situation even more chaotic. Meanwhile, the person who slapped them would take off laughing as they ran away. But the slap wasn't the most humiliating part. The video would be uploaded to YouTube where it usually got a ton of views. Filming the slap was the whole point because, as people said, a happy slap was just a slap if nobody caught it on camera.
Basically, someone assaults a stranger while being recorded on a camera phone, hopefully creating a video that will go viral on the internet.
At first, people thought these videos were funny because the slap seemed harmless, just light taps on the cheek. But as more people started making these videos, it evolved into something far more aggressive. Young people started hitting strangers with enough force to knock them to the ground. There was even the case of a guy who yelled, "This is YouTube material," while recording himself harassing a stranger. This was no longer funny. It's absolutely insane that people were randomly attacked just so someone else can get internet clout. As these videos spread online, more and more people began to feel sorry for the victims. And the backlash against Happy Slapping hit like a hurricane. But people didn't just complain, they took legal action. In February 2007, a law was passed making happy slapping a crime in France. In Denmark, a lady was sentenced to 8 months in prison for her part in a violent happy slapping attack. Law enforcement in multiple countries cracked down on happy slapping at the same time. Although the police tried to stop it, happy slapping videos kept showing up on YouTube. In 2007, a UK school principal came up with an insane solution. The government should just ban YouTube. No YouTube would mean no place to share these videos. At the same time, YouTube was under growing pressure to act. Many people felt the platform was enabling bullying by allowing happy slapping videos to stay online. Some users even boycotted YouTube, refusing to use it until the videos were completely removed. With talks of a possible ban, YouTube finally acted and took down most of the happy slapping videos. They also updated their policies to prevent similar videos from being uploaded in the future. YouTube's new policies made it clear: violence, even if it's a prank, is not allowed on the platform. Next up is a video from a YouTuber who's had his fair share of trouble, but this deleted video is definitely one of his worst moments. Logan Paul's response to CoffeeZilla. This video was called Logan Paul's response to CoffeeZilla's scam allegations. But it wasn't just a response, it felt more like a warning or even a threat.
CoffeeZilla, your slimiest. He is a lopsided journalist with an agenda, more like an internet criminal.
But here's the kicker. It backfired so badly that the video was deleted out of sheer embarrassment. So what was this video about? The story revolves around two successful YouTubers. On one hand, we have Logan Paul, one of YouTube's biggest stars. And then there's CoffeeZilla, a YouTuber famous for exposing fake gurus and scammers. CoffeeZilla and Logan Paul were in different corners of YouTube and didn't have much to do with each other. That was until CoffeeZilla started investigating one of Logan Paul's most controversial projects, CryptoZoo. CryptoZoo was an NFT game Logan Paul created in 2021. The idea was simple. Players could buy NFT animals, then later sell them or trade them to make a profit. It was supposed to be like Pokemon, but for NFTs. Logan spent months hyping up CryptoZoo, convincing thousands of his fans to invest in the project.
So that was the idea pitched to people, and people immediately buy in. They $3 million in NFT sales, tens of millions of dollars in the tokens itself.
But CryptoZoo ended up being a total disaster. No playable game was ever released, and Logan abandoned the project 6 months after convincing thousands of his followers to invest. Those who invested in CryptoZoo felt scammed, and they ran to CoffeeZilla for help. In December 2022, CoffeeZilla released a video called Investigating Logan Paul's Biggest Scam. In his video, CoffeeZilla spoke to dozens of CryptoZoo investors who lost money.
I lost around $50,000 in CryptoZoo.
I lost $40,000.
And I lost around $15,000 US.
I lost $25,000.
But the most damning part of Coffee's video was when he shared evidence suggesting that CryptoZoo might have been a scam from the start. CoffeeZilla's video was a huge blow to Logan Paul's already shaky reputation, and it hurt his ego. In an attempt to defend himself, Logan recorded a fiery 7-minute response video. That brings us to the video we talked about earlier, Logan Paul's response to CoffeeZilla's scam allegations. From the first second of the video, Logan came out swinging. He said CoffeeZilla only investigated CryptoZoo to benefit himself, not to help the victims.
CoffeeZilla. I watched your 3-part series called Investigating Logan Paul's Biggest Scam, and like many on this platform, you have successfully used my name for views and money.
Then Logan tried to point out all the mistakes in Coffee's investigation.
Your addiction to clicks has clouded your judgment, and you've made very real errors with very real repercussions. He is a lopsided journalist with an agenda.
When Logan wasn't criticizing CoffeeZilla, he acted like the victim, blaming other people for CryptoZoo's failure.
Had rats under my nose, stole the game code, millions of dollars, and left Jeff and I abandoned with no team and knives in our back. I guess that's what I get for trusting the team that I relied on to vet and manage Eddie's hiring process, who has turned out to be a professional con man.
But the worst part of Logan's response was when he threatened to sue CoffeeZilla.
I suggest you use the money you got from pumping your Patreon to hire a good lawyer. You're gonna need it. We're gonna handle this ourselves while we continue to build CryptoZoo, and I'll see you in court.
Instead of helping his case, Logan's response ruined his reputation. He came off as cocky and defensive, which made him look guilty. It seemed Logan was more interested in attacking CoffeeZilla than helping those who lost money in CryptoZoo. Before long, other YouTubers made videos mocking Logan for threatening to sue CoffeeZilla.
I have even less faith in you to make good choices. This doesn't discredit anything. At all, actually. This just makes you look worse.
The backlash was so intense that Logan eventually deleted his response video, but by then, millions already watched it. Later, Logan uploaded a new video to respond to CoffeeZilla, but this time, instead of threatening him, Logan apologized.
CoffeeZilla is not a criminal. I called him, I apologized. My initial response to his series was that of fire and ego.
Logan also promised to fix CryptoZoo and make things right for everyone who lost money. In January 2024, he announced a $2.3 million buyback program to repay CryptoZoo investors. It was unfortunate how CryptoZoo turned out, but at least they gave us one of YouTube's most notorious deleted videos. Sometimes YouTubers get so excited they don't stop to think about how their videos might impact others. That's exactly what happened in our next deleted video. The PewDiePie sign. PewDiePie is one of the most popular YouTubers in the world, but even his massive popularity couldn't stop YouTube from deleting one of his videos in 2017. Just 1 month earlier, in December 2016, PewDiePie became the first YouTuber to reach 50 million subscribers.
Also, we gained 50 million subscribers.
At that point, he was making around $14 million a year from ads and sponsorships. Huge brands like Disney were collaborating with him, and he was about to release the second season of his show, Scare PewDiePie. Life was great for PewDiePie, but all the success came with pressure. To keep his 50 million subscribers entertained, PewDiePie needed to post exciting videos regularly. If he slowed down or put out boring videos, it could keep him from growing.
You know, even though it might not seem like it, I really care about every single video I make. I make sure it's the best it can be. I do daily content after all.
Just weeks after hitting 50 million subscribers, PewDiePie came up with a dumb video idea that almost ruined his career. PewDiePie decided to make a video where he would check out strange services available on the internet to show how crazy the modern world is. To find online services, he went on Fiverr, which is a website with thousands of freelancers.
There's a website called Fiverr where you basically can ask anyone for anything for $5.
PewDiePie wanted to see just how far people would go to earn $5 on Fiverr. To start, he chose a service that caught his interest.
But my favorite is Your Message On, where these guys, for example, will paint your message on my body and dance in the jungle.
PewDiePie came up with the most outrageous phrase he could imagine, something no one would ever say in public. Then he offered freelancers $5 to hold up a sign with that phrase on it. I can't repeat the exact phrase because I don't want to get in trouble by YouTube, but it was a terrible thing to say. It read, "Death to all members of a certain religious group."
Here we go. Sign to behold. Death to all.
Here's where PewDiePie made things worse. Instead of hiring freelancers who knew what they were getting into, PewDiePie paid 2 freelancers from India to hold up the sign.
Exclusive on Fiverr for $5.
The men, known as the Funny Guys, lived in a rural area in India. They didn't fully understand the meaning of the words PewDiePie asked them to write, but for $5, they did it. They recorded themselves laughing and dancing while holding the offensive sign. Then they sent the video to PewDiePie and received their $5. In January 2017, PewDiePie shared the video on YouTube. He expected his fans to laugh at what people would do for $5, but they didn't find it funny at all. News outlets around the world picked up the story accusing PewDiePie of promoting violence. Reporters dug up other controversial videos on PewDiePie's channel, including one that showed a man dressed as Jesus saying Hitler did absolutely nothing wrong. But PewDiePie wasn't the only one getting criticized. The Fiverr freelancers from India who held up the sign were also in trouble. Fiverr.com was created by Israelis, and PewDiePie's sign was a direct insult to their people. To punish the Indian freelancers, Fiverr banned their accounts, preventing them from getting any freelance jobs on the platform. Desperate, the Indians made an apology video saying that they didn't know what the message on the sign meant.
Extremely sorry for the mistake we have made in the video. Please forgive us. We really don't know what the message meant while making the video.
They also said that losing their Fiverr accounts took away their main source of income. Everyone felt bad for them. Even PewDiePie tried to help them get back on Fiverr.
Now PewDiePie on Twitter publicly reached out to them saying, at Fiverr, get them back their account. Please ban me, it's fine, but doesn't seem fair to ban these guys.
As far as I know, the Indian freelancers never got their Fiverr accounts back. But the situation was hurting PewDiePie too. Reporters reached out to companies working working with PewDiePie, asking how they felt about his offensive video. In response, major brands including Disney terminated their deals with him. YouTube also canceled Scare PewDiePie Season 2 and removed them from the Google Preferred program, making him lose a ton of money. As the backlash continued, the video disappeared from PewDiePie's channel. It's not clear if YouTube deleted it because it violated their policies or if PewDiePie took it down himself. However, PewDiePie did apologize, saying, "I think of the content that I create as entertainment and not a place for any serious political commentary. Though this was not my intention, I understand that these jokes were ultimately offensive." However, this scandal didn't destroy PewDiePie's career. He bounced back and is still one of the biggest YouTubers today. This next chapter is about a family who took their pursuit of fame too far. In the end, they lost not one but hundreds of their YouTube videos. Daddy05. Daddy05 was one of YouTube's biggest family channels, racking up 167 million views. But in 2017, their content became so toxic that YouTube was forced to delete all of their videos. So how did they go from fun family vlogs to content so shocking it couldn't stay on the internet? When Daddy05 launched their channel in 2015, they seemed like the perfect family. Their About section even proudly said, "We as a family decided to make this YouTube channel just for fun." The videos gave viewers a peek into the daily lives of Mike and Heather Martin and their 5 kids. Each child brought their own unique personality, and it was obvious the parents really enjoyed spending time with them. Their content felt so real and relatable that it didn't take long for the channel to blow up. At its peak, they had around 750,000 subscribers watching their family adventures. Then suddenly, one bad idea transformed them from a loving family to a family from hell. The problem began because they wanted more views. Mike Martin, the dad, noticed an interesting trend. The more outrageous their videos were, the more views they got.
The ones just showing them as a happy family home don't get that many views. But when they push the envelope, when they use the profanity, when they have fights and arguments, they see those get those clicks, and they kept trying to push the envelope and they lost their way.
To get more views, Mike Martin set out to make the most chaotic and offensive family videos on YouTube. And that's when things went downhill. Daddy05 needed to make shocking content, and they came up with a perfect way to do that. They would prank the kids. But these weren't the kind of pranks you would expect. Instead of lighthearted jokes, they often involved yelling, swearing, and sometimes got physical.
What are you doing? What the did you just do to her dick?
As Daddy05 became more popular, the pranks became more extreme. Their young son Cody was often the target. One of the worst incidents was the disappearing ink prank. In the video, the parents poured invisible ink on the carpet, making it look like it was ruined. Then they accused Cody and his brother Alex of spilling the ink and ruining the carpet.
The controversial video shows parents Michael and Heather Martin spraying disappearing ink in their son's bedroom and then blaming him for it.
When the boys denied it, the parents screamed at them, calling them liars. When things got really intense, the parents suddenly burst into laughter, revealing it was all a joke. But Cody and Alex didn't laugh back, they just looked scared and upset. Their video views skyrocketed, but the videos triggered another unexpected effect. Viewers began to worry about the kids. What Mike and Heather called jokes was actually bullying. Eventually, people decided enough was enough. Viewers flooded YouTube with complaints reporting the channel. Parents, psychologists, and even lawyers spoke out, demanding the Martins lose custody of their children. Under all this pressure, things quickly fell apart for Mike and Heather Martin. At first, they tried to defend themselves. They claimed the pranks were just for fun and insisted the kids knew it was all a joke.
We really never meant for any of this to be taken this way.
But their main excuse was that they were doing it for shock value. Their exact words were, "We keep going more and more for the shock factor versus reality to see what could get more views."
They would get excited when they would get a lot of views, and you know, it was more for shock value.
But the backlash kept growing. Eventually, the Martins removed their most controversial videos and posted a tearful apology. They even hired a crisis consultant to help them deal with the fallout from the videos. But the damage was done, and nothing would ever be the same for the Daddy05 family. In August 2017, Mike and Heather were arrested for how they treated the kids on their YouTube channel. To avoid jail time, they took a plea deal and were sentenced to 5 years of supervised probation. That same year, a court ordered that Cody and Emma, the youngest children, be removed from the Martins' home and placed with their biological mother.
The Maryland couple who famously pranked their children for their YouTube channel has lost custody of 2 of the 5 children in the home.
In July 2018, YouTube took the final step, deleting all of the Daddy-O5 videos and permanently banning the channel. This next deleted video caused so much drama, it made some people stop watching YouTube altogether. The disturbing Elsa Gate. A few years ago, YouTube was under a lot of backlash. The only way they survived was by deleting hundreds of videos. Those deleted videos were called the Elsagate videos, and this is the dark story behind them. Between 2016 and 2017, weird thumbnails like these started popping up on YouTube. At first glance, you see familiar faces like Elsa from Frozen and Spider-Man, but if you pay attention to the titles and how they're posing, you realize something's off. Anyone who clicked on these thumbnails was in for a nasty surprise. Instead of fun, kid-friendly content, the videos showed disturbing and straight-up creepy scenes.
There was an episode where I saw a popular character, and I think it was Peppa Pig again. They'd actually set fire to a house with one of the other characters in it.
Some videos showed Elsa and Spider-Man with huge needles acting out bizarre hospital scenes. Others showed Peppa Pig crying or being chased. Some videos even showed cartoon characters doing intimate things that are not suitable for kids to watch.
Peppa Pig drinking bleach. Those are just some of the troubling videos that slipped through the filters.
The problem was that there wasn't just 1 or 2 videos like this. There were thousands on YouTube, and some children couldn't tell the difference between these creepy cartoons and their regular kids' cartoons.
She was not aware. She thought it was Peppa Pig. She just wanted me to not take it away from her because she was engrossed in what the video was.
This disturbing trend became known as Elsagate. The name came from Elsa, one of the main cartoon characters in these videos, and the word gate, which is a term used to describe major scandals. But that doesn't answer the biggest question. Why would anyone create such weird videos using popular cartoon characters? Some content creators figured out that using famous kids characters like Elsa or Spider-Man could bring in tons of views, and with those views came big money from ads. By making videos that were purposely shocking or weird, they could take advantage of kids' curiosity and the fact that they often watch videos over and over. To make as much money as possible, they pumped out these videos fast. Each video would rake in hundreds of thousands or even millions of views, which meant more money in their pockets. These videos were low quality and didn't follow real stories, just random unsettling moments.
It's like, this stuff is crazy.
It's weird.
I didn't even know about this.
They dress up in these cartoons. They have little babies that are dressed up like Spider-Man or like Elsa. And like this scene keeps happening over and over again.
Before long, everyone was talking about Elsagate. Parents, teachers, and the media. The news called the videos nonsensically nightmarish and pretty twisted for children's content.
Inappropriate videos have infiltrated YouTube Kids. One click, and it's down the rabbit hole. Video suggestions after that growing more and more deranged.
Child psychologists warned that watching such strange and violent scenes could confuse or scare children.
It's going to be confusion. Like, I'm expecting one thing, I'm used to one thing, and now it doesn't make sense. It's unfamiliar.
Some angry parents even reported the strange videos to the cops, but the cops couldn't really help.
And we've received complaints about the difficulty for police is those kinds of videos are not illegal.
Before long, people stopped pointing fingers at the creators of these videos and started blaming YouTube itself. Parents were furious, demanding that YouTube step in and get rid of the disturbing content. Some even banned their kids from watching YouTube altogether. To save its reputation, the platform began mass deleting thousands of these so-called Elsagate videos. In November 2017, YouTube announced that it terminated more than 270 accounts and removed over 150,000 videos that fell into the Elsagate category. YouTube also demonetized nearly 2 million videos with questionable kids content. But the most important thing YouTube did was update its policy, announcing that creators would no longer be able to monetize videos that made inappropriate use of family-friendly characters. These deleted videos show us that what you share online can have consequences far beyond what you expect. It's a reminder to be careful what you post, because it stays around long after you hit delete. After all, the internet is written in pen, not pencil. Read that again. Visual Venture. If you guys like this video, you guys would like my video on YouTube's most hated videos of all time. Make sure you guys subscribe and then click here to watch it. Love you guys. Peace.